Hi guys, welcome back to Shotgun Girls. We are all braided up because it's the winter time and it's quarantine, so the wigs are on the stand.
Wigs on the stand.
100%. So, it's the season where Valentine's is approaching. No one can meet anyone, so a lot of people have got quarantine baes. I don't personally. What about you? No comment. We are not getting into that. No comment.
No, I'm joking. Mate, I'm my own quarantine bae. Me, myself, and Bob. Anyways, go on.
No comment. So basically, we saw a video recently and it spoke about, we're going to show the clip straight after this, but it spoke about that last person that you slept with or that you're in a relationship. Do you see a future with them? So watch this video now.
So let me ask you a question. If you had to marry the last person you had sex with, would you be happy? Or the last person of the opposite sex that you talk to, would you be happy? Or that person you in a relationship with right now, would you be happy? See, most of us will answer no right now. And ain't that why we don't find our soulmate? It's because we occupying our hands with all the wrong people and we ain't got room to catch the right people. That distraction is taking you away from your blessing.
So after watching that video,
what are your thoughts?
Would you marry the man that last had you?
No. A lot of people during this pandemic have been very depressed, very lonely.
Yeah, it brings on a lot of things in you that you never thought would.
Your whole thought process is different. Like, you would have gone out to meet someone before, you would have been with your friends, or your life might have been so busy.
You had better choices because, you got the distractions. For me, I'm being very objective around this subject, talking about it.
For me, right now, what it feels like is when my mum used to cook a big pot of like curry or something, and everyone used to get all the best bits, and you come home late or the next day you want to get some and all you got was the burnt bits at the bottom of the pot. I feel like a lot of us,
that's the rice and peas there,
are taking the burnt bits. These people that we're hooking up with, or
the barrel, the bottom of the barrel.
Literally, we're scraping the bottom of the pot.
Yeah, but why? Why not just be happy with self-contentedness?
It sounds nice, but people have got needs. If you're used to getting action 3 to 4 times a week, and then you can't get nothing for a couple months, some people can deal with that.
Yeah, but that's
some people they can't. Like, not mention any names, but some people's vibrators have all run out of batteries and stuff. Like, it's a bit mad out here. So
well, if it runs out, then you just buy a new one, or you think buy one that lasts longer.
Sometimes you need the real thing.
You know.
But on a real note,
quarantine, I've been more on to find myself, to be honest.
I respect that.
And you can't knock, even if you do feel lonely and you've got that ex, then why not? People are trying to do it anywhere they can, innit?
But what happens now? Again, not mention any names, but I know a couple of people that did go to fulfill this need. And they're now pregnant by someone that they don't want to be with.
Well, you
look at the bigger picture, going back to the video, you wouldn't marry this person, and now you're stuck with an even bigger obligation.
But even if you chose to go there, why didn't you do something to prevent yourself? It's all about you. You're taking the risk anyway. But no, take that back. Why are you taking that risk?
Loneliness.
Yeah, but loneliness, you can still be lonely and have sex with them, but not get caught out.
But the problem is, a lot of people, if you've been having sex with this person for 4 or 5 years, or even 2 years, you are so comfortable that stuff just happens. Yeah, and when you was in a relationship, you didn't even think twice about taking precautions. Now you're not, but you're still very comfortable. And I think, for me personally, this quarantine has it's been like I've tapped out of reality.
Yeah, your normal but
My
everybody's
mindset
not
has
doing
been
their normal
different.
reality.
I feel like I'm
Yeah, but-
watching a movie or I'm part of a movie.
Yeah,
it just doesn't feel real, and
Yeah,
I
but
think
you have to be in control of how you react to the situation.
if you take the first quarantine, for example, the number of people drinking alcohol, risen. Number of people smoking drugs, risen. So you imagine you're mixing substance abuse with sex. Nobody's thinking about taking precautions when you're... And I'm not saying everyone's drinking and
Yeah, but after
smoking.
after your little night of passion, and the next day when you wake up and you're like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that.
But are people thinking that? Because the part of you which was snap back to reality, for some people, that's not awake right now.
Yeah, but let's dig deeper than this now, because I feel like this is just a bit, it's more superficial. I think it boils down to actually how you feel about yourself.
Definitely.
And
If you're a very busy person in particular, you often wouldn't have the time to sit and think about
Yeah, but
your
then you're
shortfalls, and
but
because
you're
you distract
distracted.
yourself. Exactly.
You're distracted, but you've got to
So now
utilise
you've
this
got the time
out.
to think. Sometimes you may not like
But
what you
you're
think,
falling
or
into an old habit with distracting yourself with that other guy.
yeah. But this is what people are doing. So asking that question to you now: would you marry the last person that you slept with? That wasn't a no.
Yeah,
You would.
yeah,
I
because
rate
it was
you.
it was a conscious thing. It was a long time ago, but it was.
It made me think also that are we losing the ability during this period of building authentic relationships? Because some couples have been thrown together. Because imagine you just started to get to know someone, you met them in the summer when things were open, and then we went into lockdown. And then some people have been forced into something very serious before you've got a chance to date and get to know them.
But that's when it becomes dangerous, because you things are go by too quickly. You don't actually get to know that person properly.
And this is what's happening. Some people are in deep relationships after knowing someone a couple of months, but
then you've been forced because you have
it's
no
by
choice.
force. Yeah, you
Because
can't go to
meet,
restaurants.
Yeah, but you can't meet anybody. Well, unless you're online. I'm sure people are still online and doing what they need to do, but you can't necessarily meet new people. Like, genuinely, if you're not somebody that's doing your online dating or whatever, you're somebody that generally goes out and meets new people. That's how you meet new guys and date, and new girls and date and stuff like that. So it's true that a lot of people are forced to.
Yeah.
They are forced to go through your phone book, you go through your black book.
But even on that,
Andre's still gonna answer my phone call.
I remember in the last lockdown, I was
Yeah.
getting text messages from people I haven't spoken to in ages, and I'm just like, where
It's
did you
true,
pop
they
out?
do.
Oh, I just wanted to see how you're
I'm not
doing.
even gonna lie, I've had a few
No.
people pop out of
No,
the
you
woodwork.
don't need to see how I'm doing. We haven't spoken in about 3 years.
It's true.
I could be dead for all you know, so keep it that way.
You have people that pop out the woodwork. You got people that you thought would holler and they don't.
True. That was the one that surprised me, because people that always were so busy, now they've got the time.
Yeah, now they wanna.
They still didn't
Yeah,
check
because
you.
they've been fucking furloughed. A lot of people like they're not working, so they ain't got no more. No, they're not. You know.
So, do you feel... I know how I feel about this. Do you feel that a lot of people have lowered their standards during this lockdown period because of their needs?
I'm 50-50. I think some people have used this time, like me, to become enlightened.
Would you like this on the first lockdown as well?
No. The first lockdown, it was more, I think I was more stuck on, like, we're just stuck indoors, like, you know, I can't go out. You know, you focus on all the superficial things, and then you try and distract us. It's true, I distracted myself. I entertained a few people here and there, but it was just like it was pointless. It was so pointless because before this lockdown, where the fuck were you? Do you know what I mean? So now it's like this lockdown, I'm utilising this time to find myself because last year was hard. And
it was hard for everyone, literally.
it was hard, and you know, I squandered some of my time, whereas this year I'm trying to find myself again. So I'm quite content.
So, would you say you're against having a quarantine bay?
No, I'm not against it. It'll be nice, but you know.
Yeah.
But you know, you
Do
don't.
you know, I've got
you
mixed
don't want-
feelings.
you
I've got
don't
mixed
want it-
feelings
Yeah,
because
but
I think if it was someone that I had an understanding and I kind of got to know before being in quarantine, it wouldn't feel so bad.
no, the last minute quarantine bay is a bad idea.
And
Definitely.
Jumping back in with an
Definitely.
ex is never a good idea
And an
because
ex is
they
an ex
were
for a
an ex
reason.
for a reason, 100%. And
I wouldn't
especially if
think
you
about
didn't
going back to
end,
an ex.
you didn't end in an amicable way.
And then to get knocked up by your ex as well, that you'd be
Peak.
so pissed.
Yeah, and especially you have people who have come out of. There's different reasons. Some people have come out of some very toxic and sometimes abusive, not necessarily physical.
Yeah, and that's another thing.
But abusive
highlighting
relationships.
Abusive relationships. That's
And
what's scary.
this period has allowed people or
To be
made people to
manipulated.
be manipulated into going back to places that they should never have gone back.
Like, imagine the guy that you broke up with just before quarantine because he treated you like shit. And then you just get... And then after, like, the first 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you realise how lonely you are. And it's quite easy to sleep.
I'm
No,
joking.
you're not boring, no.
But yeah, it just goes to show, like, where we are at as a society. I'm someone, I used to love watching even some of the, like, the TikTok challenges. Like,
TikTok,
the beginning
I can't stand
of the TikTok challenges last year, they were good, and then they started to get a bit jarring. But I feel like 2021's come with a new energy. Like, the first big challenge, which is sweeping everyone, has gone from being a bit sensual to full-on pornography. People are having sex. People are exposing all their body parts, and each to their own. But I just feel like our mindsets have got to such a point where it's
we
like
just need entertain. Like we need that hard.
any little thing we can get entertained, and it's just like there's a lot of sexual frustration out there.
It just makes me wonder who's coming up with these bloody challenges because they're absolutely stupid.
But how the challenges start and how they end, like you can have someone who's wearing a dressing gown, and then all of a sudden they change into a swimsuit and show a silhouette, to someone starting in a full suit and then ending up completely naked, swinging what God gave them, and it's just like, where the fuck? It's got. I just, like I said, it shows like sort of the mental state of where a lot of people are at right now.
Yeah, but then there's a lot of people that are actually borderline depressed, isn't it?
How have you been during this lockdown?
I'm not gonna lie, I've been a bit down. I've had my days where I've been down.
Yeah.
I've had drama. Unnecessary drama.
I think we've all had a little bit of that.
You know.
Someone woke me up 4 o'clock in the morning with drama.
But it's hard. It's hard trying to stay positive if you don't feel like you've got something to look forward to.
Yeah.
I feel like for a lot of people, the future seems kind of bleak. There's nothing. You know, you at the beginning of the year, you know what holidays you got coming up. You know your birthday that's coming up, what you want to do, girl trips. You know, the beginning of the year is an exciting time because you know what you want to do for the year. But certain things have just been put on hold. So it's like the weekend. You know, some people can't live for the weekend, so they work during the week and they look forward to the weekend. The weekend is a work day. It's a normal day. Or the work week is a normal day for a lot of people. It's the weekend, like, you know.
I can't even tell the difference. I remember someone calling me on a Saturday and I'd got up about 7:30, 8 o'clock. And I'm like, oh, it's Saturday. Because literally all the days just seem to blend into each other.
They
now.
blend into one. I'm always saying, what day is it?
Like literally.
What day
And
is it?
You raised
What's
such
the
a
day?
valuable point because from the start of the year, people normally have their New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
I remember end of 2019 going to 2020, everyone was like, 2020 is going to be a movie. I didn't hear no one saying nothing at 2021. People were like, here we go again. Hopefully this year is better than it was. Just so glum, and that's the way it started. And they always say you start as you mean to go on, and I think even with the recent deaths that we've had, even with what was happening, though I understand to a degree why people have sought out comfort in like relationships, food, sex, all of those things.
To be honest with you, I'm not getting much of those, so I've even given up smoking. So for me, my turn to is food. I eat a lot of chocolate.
When you see Shotgun Girls by like April, like there'll be one of us in the screen at a time. Like we both won't be able to fit in the screen. Literally, I'm wearing baggies for a reason because
COVID weight is
COVID
real.
weight is real. Don't mind the bum, that can stay, but the
people
gut.
could say, oh, but you could utilise this time and start exercising. But when you don't have the motivation.
And this is the thing, I think a lot of people have lost the motivation to do stuff. And once you lose the motivation, it's so hard to...
Yeah, but the thing is, I feel like we've been dulled down. Our vibrations have been dulled down.
100%.
Like.
So what advice would you give to someone who was feeling depressed or feeling like they're not sure what they were going to do next? Just because of the way that things are.
Advice would be to make sure you talk to people. I think talking is a good sense of outlet. It's a good outlet. Don't keep everything to yourself, because sometimes you're overthinking things and it seems worse than it actually is.
100%. I'm definitely guilty of that.
And there's a lot of people that are feeling a similar way to you, and you might not know it because you're not talking about it. Everybody's keeping it to themselves. Another piece of advice: pray. Not necessarily pray or meditate. One of the two. You're doing both things, isn't it? You know, if you're not used to praying, meditate on what it is you actually want to do. Where do you want to go? Where do you stand?
It's a good piece of
Do you know
advice,
what I mean?
actually. I need
Where
to apply
are
that
you?
myself.
Where are you in life? And just get in touch with yourself.
I would
really.
second that, actually.
And then do things that you enjoy doing. Read a book. Go for a walk. Go for a jog. Have sex. But safe. Safe sex.
Because you'll be responsible
sure
for all
you're-
those babies.
Make sure
Yeah, in the podcast, Kira told us to go have sex.
Make sure you're with the right person who's emotionally available for you. Yeah, don't just pick up the person that's selfish and they feel like, I know, you know, if you've got that person you can actually offload to and they can listen and you have that connection. Why not? You know.
Another thing I would definitely say is that do seek comfort. Definitely create a support network because you need that support during this time. And be careful not to confuse comfortability with love.
Yeah.
Because right now, you can become so comfortable with someone, being around them, maybe it's the sex, maybe it's the company, that it gets misconstrued with love. But it's just that comfortability, and especially if you're going back to someone that you've been with before.
I would say, don't have sex. Journal.
It works for some people.
Journal. You don't need to have sex. Sex is just something that's... Sex is for the moment. Sex is not for long term. Sex isn't going to feed your spirit. Sex is just...
That is a good point.
To release your frustrations and your stress. But that's not going to heal you.
Also a good point. So based on today, I did feel like I wanted a quarantine baby, but maybe I need to hold out a bit longer.
Meditate and pray and eat good food. Eat
I'm
chocolate.
definitely eating. Whether it's good food is another story. But
And
that was
exercise.
a quick update from us.
Oh,
Let
just
us
a
know
minute,
what your
mental health
situation
outlet.
is with your quarantine. Have you got quarantine bay? And definitely, please, if you're not already, seek some support. If you're feeling very vulnerable in your mental state, there are organisations out there ready to support you. So please get in touch with those. I just want to wish everyone safety, really. Like, try to keep safe. And Shotgun Girls will definitely be touching base with you again soon.
Right. See you guys.
Bye.